Hello, welcome to Double Talk. I'm Mark Steffen.
I'm Michael Mandel. I was going to try practicing eating because I just saw that Thanksgiving is coming. Nobody told me.
Next week.
When does that come? Like in November?
Yeah, it does.
Wow. Is that standard, or do they make the rule up differently?
No, it's pretty much the same month every year.
Does it depend on who's in power?
Not yet.
No, it might. Well, I know you're wondering about the drink, and so am I. The only reason I'm... What? Yeah, don't talk to us while we're doing a show, okay? These fans, they just shout things out. So I was telling you, at Ruth's Chris,
yeah,
and I wanted to get something like a Negroni but lighter, which is an Americano. And the girl says, "Well, what's in that?" And I said, "Campari. Do you have Campari?" She said, "Oh, yeah, we do." No, she said, "Yeah, we do."
She knew what it was.
And I said, "And vermouth." And she said, and then, make it Americano by putting soda water in it. But she didn't know what a Negroni was, or the Americano. I said, "And you have Campari? What do you use Campari for if you don't make those two things?" She
says, on the rocks?
It didn't matter. Yeah, well, I did get it on the rocks. But, straight, nobody asked for a Campari on the rocks. Nobody ever did. Yes, but I used to do that too.
Sure.
She said, "We do our Rosy Margarita."
Mm-hmm.
I said, "You put Campari in a margarita?" And she handed me the drink menu, and it was there. So I don't know the proportions. I am going, since Mark is the best candidate in the city for drinking stuff that nobody knows how it's going to turn out.
You calling me your guinea pig?
Yes. I don't have my
daughter.
I don't have my daughter around.
I am.
So, and he's willing. Usually.
This once I'll do it.
He doesn't know. But as long as, so I'm doing 3/4 of an ounce of
freshly squeezed lime juice.
Lime juice. I'm making this up. I was making it up in my head on the way over, but that doesn't count. I'm thinking an ounce of tequila.
And that's good tequila, isn't it?
This is. It says 96 points. On a scale of 1,000.
Oh, well.
Yeah. Alto. I could do an ad for Alto. I like Alto. It's really good, and I know how you hate all the others.
Is this the kind of drink that you would drink on Thanksgiving before the meal?
If you're a mixture of Hispanic and Italian.
Oh.
So I'm doing an ounce of tequila. I think half an ounce of Cointreau. When you make margaritas, people ask, should I use Cointreau or Triple Sec or Grand Marnier? And we had that show on about 3 years ago. Mm-hmm. We tried all three. We both agreed, very unusual, Cointreau wins with margaritas.
Yeah, it does.
Triple Sec tastes cheaper, and Grand Marnier tastes very serious for some reason.
That was too sweet, wasn't it?
No, it was too earthy, or I don't know. And so we're using Campari. I'm going to match the amount of, put a little bit more in.
Well, that's what gives it the Rosy, right?
That's the Rosy Margarita. So Campari has some orange flavors, which is similar to the Cointreau. and our producer said he smelled lemon coming out of this tequila. Did you smell that?
I don't know. Did you put enough of it in? I wasn't quite sure if you had
I did an ounce.
Really, a full ounce?
You can...
Well, it smells like a tequila.
It smells like tequila.
Not like every tequila.
No. Like a lemony tequila?
Well, I didn't get the hints of lemon so much. I think he was already smelling the lime essence
That's
in the
what
air.
I think, yes. Okay, as we normally do, we'll try it out.
You got to shake, baby.
We like trying it out. We like shaking. Then we could, fix it afterwards. I got extra limes.
We can adjust.
Yeah. That's how drinks were first made, right?
You learn.
Martini. I don't know. Yeah. Let's start with some white vermouth.
And,
ooh, this is like squirting here.
So, yeah, looks like a good Thanksgiving drink.
Talking. It could be. I mean, a lot of people drink margaritas. Remember, I talked about the people saying the most popular drinks in the world were old fashioned and a Negroni.
Negroni.
Well, I think
martini.
we can assume that margarita is one of the most.
It gets a lot of play.
Yeah, especially down here.
Yeah. Sure.
And why not have variations on a margarita? So now, Si Senor, which is the only Mexican restaurant in town that has Campari, could do this if it works out.
See, a lot of places have to have wine margaritas because they don't have liquor licenses.
That's true. And don't you hate beer margaritas? Those beer margaritas.
They can be pretty treacherous.
I think it's called something else when you put lime and beer together. It's doesn't have a name to itself.
Well, a lot of people do that.
They do that
with a Mexican beer.
Yeah. Okay, I'm not going to shake it too much because this thing's kind of
That's good.
squirt. And you don't like all that noise, right?
I don't like it. You know that.
I know. That's why I shake it in your bad ear.
What?
Huh?
Yes.
No wonder you. Oh, see, it's Rosy.
It is Rosy.
Let's taste it first
It's a
and see if
lovely.
we want to keep.
Yes, it's a nice shade.
No one ever knows it's a margarita when it's rosy. People think it should be green.
Well,
Smells good.
pungent. Very
I
citrusy.
think it works. Could use more. You can taste the tequila, right?
Either a tad less lime or a tad more of everything else.
I would say a little bit more Campari, maybe.
That would help sweeten it up.
Yes.
Or the triple sec. They're both
Let's try
sweet.
this. We'll put this in here. Give it a little ice. That should do it.
That should. Now, I wonder.
That'll be for our next part of the show.
Do you think these drinks would go well with nachos?
Well, only if you had 5,000 pounds of nachos.
Which
'cause
we did.
That's the normal amount of nachos.
Well, Las Cruces broke the world's record for the world's largest serving of nachos.
But nobody would ever know, right?
Only the people who paid $15 a head were able to sample it, or those of us in the media who were there to record the event.
And what did...
That's better, actually. And so we were there. We have pictures of it.
Didn't some news organizations say that we were in Las Vegas?
They got us.
They got town in Nevada?
Las Cruces confused with Las Vegas. It was terrible. But we were there before we get to some of the other stuff. Oh, we watched them make it. It only took about 20 minutes to make the whole
Which
thing.
is hard to believe.
They were prepped and ready to go. They had bags of chips, emptied them out. Bags of cheese, emptied them out.
You can't have bags of sour cream. Can
Bags
you
of
have
green
bags
chili.
of sour cream?
Bags of green chili. And then they had beans and meat and some sour cream that they sprinkled on top. And it was done.
That's amazing, because I would think it would be sitting out there, the birds are going to fly and get it, the flies.
Yeah, there's no flies because they did it at night.
And the flies don't like green chili.
And it was great. It was a beautiful evening for her.
Do you have video on this? Or do you have? Or we don't have it.
We have some photographs of it. There, we did put up video on Facebook that night or the next night, and but we don't have it here today. But we do have. Well, actually, we do have some video of Jimmy Fallon mistakenly confusing us with Las Vegas.
Well, Fallon is shortcut for fouling.
Or Fallen.
Fouling. So, are we going to show that? Let's show Jimmy Fallon. Yeah. You could. No? Do we just see it? We'll watch it. We'll just knock us out of the screen. We're going to knock off the tequila, and we'll watch Jimmy Fallon forgetting us.
Making it.
Yeah, check this out over the weekend. A city in Nevada broke a world record by making a 5,000-pound serving of nachos. It was fun until a guy tried to grab one chip and drag all 5,000 pounds out.
Yes, now.
As we know, that doesn't happen when you eat nachos.
It can. But it was.
You could make mistakes.
It was 5,039 pounds.
And so we got absolutely no press on that, apparently. Nobody said the word. You say Las Cruces on TV, on the Jimmy Fallon show, you got at least 300,000 people watching that show, right?
Maybe.
Maybe 20?
Now, I asked them about, the Guinness Book of World Records. How's it going to be in there? Because that's the unofficial world's record. They said, well,
they got to put it in papers, right?
The Guinness people charged $10,000 to come to the event and judge it. And the city said, well, we're not paying with Guinness Book of World Records $10,000 to come here and do that.
So we have a world record, but not a Guinness World Record.
They have to take our word for it.
And who said Guinness Stout is the best beer?
Guinness?
Yeah. See? We have to make our own world record, Las Cruces World Records.
Well, we did have the world's largest red enchilada.
So at that time, did we pay $10,000 to Guinness?
No.
It's just in the media. Guinness is like the ADA.
They sell a book. That's what they do.
Well, they do a lot of research. And then they have little museums, don't they?
They do have a museum.
But I mean,
like in Vegas.
if you want to believe Guinness, but look at the ADA, American Dental Association. How they give everybody approval, right? How do you believe
for
them?
chewing gum.
Do you believe
Yes.
them? Yeah. So we've just tried to knock down the reputation of somebody who makes reputations, which is Guinness Book of World Records.
But it was a fun evening out, I must say, downtown at the Las Cruces Plaza.
Mm-hmm.
And afterwards, we went and had beers looking out over the plaza from the Little Toad Creek Brewery.
Yes, I like the
And
Little Toad Creek.
It was a nice evening out for all concerned. And now, speaking of food,
I thought you were coming to a point, about your lovely night.
it was a lovely night, a world record lovely night.
Really? Because you met more people than you ever met before, right?
No, I just, imbibed the world's largest nachos.
How much? This much? How much did you do?
A couple
Couple of chips?
chips full.
You didn't pay the $15,
I had to
right?
avoid- no.
Did you have a media pass?
Yeah, I had to avoid the meat.
Oh.
So
Did you manage to do that?
Oh yeah,
You were worried about
no,
that.
No, sprinkled around. It was easy to avoid. They had beans, and I got the green chili and the sour cream.
We could win the world's vegetarian nacho thing. How many pounds is that? Nobody else did that, right?
No.
Nobody's ever tried that.
Yeah.
We could do a 10-pound one, 10-pound meatless nachos, world champ.
Well,
Because nobody's competing with us.
You almost get that at High Desert Brewery now if you order the large one.
Ooh, what a slap in the face.
Man, is that a big one?
Really. Nachos is surprisingly good.
Yes.
So people eat them in the movies. I
mean,
mean,
yes,
right? And what a horrible
in the
thing.
dark, you're spilling it all over yourself,
Well, the
right?
new Cinema 12, you're sitting on a lounge chair
Yeah.
that you could use to
It's like a lazy boy
sleep
recliner.
there. If you are going cross country and you can't afford a hotel, go to one of those movie theaters and you could sleep there.
You're really good.
You could. And,
For $6.
And they have like 8 seats in a large room, and you get your reservation. And usually somebody's either sitting in there or you don't like where your seat is, so you sit someplace else. But you could be sitting there eating nachos, which is sloppy, or pizza.
They have a little platform next to the chair. You
If
can
they
rest.
only sold pizza there, they don't sell pizza.
Pizza, yeah, that'd be good. You can spill that all over your shirt.
Anything.
Now, Red Hawk Golf Course, they have a snack bar there and a bar,
Yes.
and you can get food there. Now, last week I reported they were downgraded by the environmental department
We weren't on last week.
for problems.
2 weeks ago?
Yeah. And
Funny, I don't remember that.
this week it was reported that
2 weeks.
they complied with all the violations, and they are now
Flying high.
approved by the health department.
Would Red Hawk mean communist or Republican, or is that the same thing?
Gee,
You don't want to get involved and embroiled in that controversy, do you? Are there Red Hawks around? Do they?
I don't think there is
Do they
any
nip
such
at your
thing,
balls?
my golf balls?
Yes.
No, I wouldn't know.
No,
The dimples in the golf balls?
I wouldn't know.
Hey, because it's Thanksgiving coming up next week, public schools are out all week,
What?
starting Monday.
What's so public about that then?
We didn't used to get the whole week off.
Those of you who are old enough to remember, and sometimes you get too old to remember.
I'll forget you said that.
Yes, you probably don't even know what we're talking about. In the old days, we got off Thursday, and then I think it gave us Friday just because the teachers didn't want to come back.
Yeah.
And then students said, oh, we got to prepare for Thanksgiving, or the teachers said we have to prepare for
Yes.
Thanksgiving because you have to cook the turkey a day before.
That's
I don't know.
true. So they give
you got a half day.
Wednesday, half
well,
day
actually,
Wednesday.
first we started with half day. Then at the university, we said, nobody wants to come in just for morning classes. That's not fair. So we canceled Wednesday. Then people who have Monday, Tuesday classes, which are never overlapped, that means you have one class of that a week.
Well,
and they figured, why bother? And people wonder why nobody's learning anything.
Well, people usually in college, you have a Tuesday class, you also have the same class on Thursday.
So that's shot anyway. So you only have your Monday, Wednesday class, your Tuesday, Thursday class. You only have one of them. Forget the whole week.
Yeah. Well, I don't know what the university's doing, but public schools are out all week. That means no school zones. Yay.
They go on automatically for you, Mark.
I'm sure they do.
just go.
They just see me coming and on they come.
Said, Mark's going 18 miles an hour. Stop him.
Yeah, so you don't have to worry about the kids this week.
Well, that's good. Good, because these are good drinks, by the way.
Those aren't bad.
Yeah, they're pretty tasty.
They are pretty good. I was talking to Randy Granger last night and at dinner, and he said,
That was well documented.
and we were talking about cocktails. I told him we do cocktails on the show. He'd never seen the show. He's going to look it up. And he said, what my favorite cocktail is? I said,
Negroni.
I was about to say Negroni, and he said Negroni.
He did say.
He did say that.
Wow.
And with that, we're going to go to a break.
and make more of these.
I make another one of these. Maybe
these
a
are pretty
different
good.
version.
Yeah,
So
we'll use peanut
We'll be
oil.
right back after these words.
Stay tuned.
Now let's see.
Hi, I'm Cheryl Burke, and I have a confession to make. I have a serious crush on my workout. Hip, fun, and always a challenge. Jazzercise is the total package. It's the only workout that I've ever truly loved. Does it show? That's because I'm in the best shape of my life. What a difference Jazzercise makes. When's the last time your workout swept you off your feet? Find a class near you at jazzercise.com.
Celebrate, celebrate, Fiesta Motors.
Come and see us today and discover why our service is second to none. In business for over 17 years, we have the right car for you. When you buy a vehicle from Fiesta Motors, we do everything possible to ensure your satisfaction. Located at the corner of El Paseo and Main. See you there.
Celebrate, Fiesta Motors, where buying a car is always a celebration.
Call Mark Goldstein, the Safe Money Guy, at 575-556-2472 to learn about innovative strategies now available to help you grow, protect, and preserve your money and financial future, regardless of market conditions.
We are back. You're watching Double Talk right here on the Las Cruces channel.
Yes, I hope you don't mind I just drank out of this bottle.
No, it's disinfectant, isn't it?
That's true. Tequila works as that. Put it on your wounds. We're making another one here. It turns out this is a pretty darn good drink. So, Randy Granger, if you like Negronis, try one of these. Yes.
What's the name of it? Rosy?
It's a Rosy Margarita.
Rosy Grita.
Basically, it's
Rosy Rita.
sort of like a Negroni, except made with
No
two
gin.
different things. No gin, tequila instead of gin, and Cointreau instead of sweet vermouth. And I have no idea how much Campari we put in, so I'll do it
Just
this
go
way.
easy. Just
Yeah.
go easy. Oh my God. You like your Campari, Michael.
I do. That wasn't that much.
And so, there's talk afoot.
Wait,
about-
can we just watch this ice melt?
No, just shake it up.
Yeah, let's watch it melt. Okay, you can keep going. Michael, you said it. You got my attention right there.
Oh, all I have to do is say your name.
Yes. Here's my treat.
The state of New Mexico is one of 6 states in the country that does not have open primaries for election, which means people like independents or people who refuse to state a party affiliation when they register to vote are not able to vote in the primaries, which are usually held in June. And you can, of course, then vote in the general election, but by that time, everybody else has picked the candidates that you get to vote for.
I spend plenty of money becoming part of the party I'm from so that I would have a ticket for it that I can call my own. If you don't want to spend money to pay for your party, which would be the independent party.
I don't have a party.
Right.
There's no such thing as the independent party. There's independent voters.
Which means undecided?
No. That means we're not affiliated.
But you don't have a philosophy?
Well, it makes it taxation without representation. We're being taxed, but we don't have
You
the
do
chance
have
to represent.
You do.
To be represented.
After you have the big guns choose for you.
Cheers.
Yeah,
right.
We're agreeing on this.
But see, the thing is, 22% of New Mexico voters are either independent or refuse to state party affiliation.
On the other hand, not bad. That's pretty good, isn't it?
It's a bit Campari-ish for me, which means it's a little bit too sweet.
Well, we'll just throw
You know how I am with sweetie drinks. So
yeah, sweet means girl, and dry means boy. Is that it?
no,
Just as we know
man.
that cats are female and dogs are men.
Let's see, Mars and Venus. Yeah. So 22% of New Mexico voters don't have representation when they vote.
Which doesn't matter because 50% of Mexican voters don't vote.
Mexican?
New Mexican
Mexican.
voters.
Well,
yes,
yeah, but it's a
50%
but it's
don't
a
vote.
different 22%, though.
It's a different
22%.
22%. You vote. You get to vote. So you
Not in the
represent-
primary.
So what? The primary is two parties making a decision of how they want to run their party.
Yeah, but a Democratic Party might run 4 or 5 people. Same with the Republicans.
Yes.
Maybe there's a Libertarian or an Independent like Bernie
Well, if you
Sanders.
say a Libertarian, you have a Libertarian Party. People make decisions. People have certain tenets by which they abide.
Sure.
And if you split, if things are bifurcated, you go one way or the other way, there's no third way.
No, you can go. Independents can vote
You
either
can
way they
bounce
want.
between. Yes, but what you're doing then is bouncing between Republican and Democrat.
If that's the only
something
choice.
What would the third choice be? The people who believe in nothing?
Bernie Sanders is an independent.
Yes, but he voted. He ran on the Democratic ticket, so we know
He had to.
a Democrat who was unwilling to commit.
Maybe it's the other way around.
Want this, or you want that?
I'd rather have that.
Okay, well then you do it.
I can reach it.
You can reach it.
So anyway, that's my beef, Michael. You know
Your
it.
beef. I know. I love discussing things. We should do a TV show where we discuss things.
That would be called like a talk show.
You mean the two of us talking?
Yes.
I don't know.
You
That'd
know-
be a good name for a show, the two of us talking.
Dick Cavett said when he was going to start his talk show, he got a call from Jack Parr. They said, whatever you do, don't do a talk show. Do a show where you're having a conversation with the other person.
Well, actually, that's what Dick Cavett did.
That's
do.
what he did do, and he's very good at it.
He was.
He was so good that he actually had a guest die on the show during taping.
And that's good? That's good. Who is that? Orson Welles or
No,
somebody?
Rodale,
Rodale.
a health expert,
Oh, the health
dies
guy.
on the show.
There you go. You can't belong to any party. He was of the health party, yet he died.
health party.
Same as the guy who wrote the book on jogging, the
Jim
first jogging
Fix.
book. He died while
He
jogging.
died jogging. What a way to go.
See? Your religion will kill you. Unless you're an atheist.
Yeah.
Oh, then you just killed for undescribed
Well,
reasons.
motorcycles are dangerous. You can get killed on them, but they can also be a force for good. And this Sunday
Master of Segway.
is the
Yes.
Toys for Kids Motorcycle Parade. Now, you and I covered that one year on our
We
previous
did.
show, and it's
'Cause
happening.
we had on-site cameras then.
We did. Yes, we did. We were out in the field for that
Now
one.
we're too old to walk.
And the same thing is happening at the mall parking lot like it was then. All the motorcycles will assemble starting at 9 o'clock in the morning.
Run that video from 1994.
And everybody has, if you want to be in the parade with your motorcycle, it's $10 entrance fee, plus you have to have a toy
And a motorcycle.
worth at least $7 or more. And they usually mount the toy on the front of the handlebars, and like a stuffed animal or something like that.
Because that's a toy.
And then they will parade from the mall
Where?
parking lot down to the convention center.
That's a long way.
And,
You know,
and
since-
then there'll be a big barbecue there.
Motorcycles look the same as they did 14 years ago,
Pretty
right?
mu- oh, yeah.
And, Santa Clauses look the same as 14 years ago.
He never changes.
Where's the progress? Where's the progress in that?
Well, the cost of
They should
toys has
change.
gone up. In fact, there's no more Toys R Us.
No, they're not.
Where do you buy toys these days?
Well, you could go to JCPenney because they have tons of toys there, believe it or not.
Oh, Target has.
Target has
Has some
toys.
toys. Walmart has-
has toys. That's the competition for Toys R US, as a famous stockbroker once called it. Yeah, he had no idea what stocks were.
So that's happening Sunday.
So go there.
And
what
if
time?
you want to go there, if you don't have a motorcycle, and you want to go to the convention center and participate, there's going to be food trucks and a barbecue, and that's $10 to get in for that as well. And the money all
But you get a
goes
barbecue, yeah.
to help the needy.
Some needy people.
Needy.
So also it could help you too, because while everybody's parked their motorcycles there and you don't have one, you can take one.
That one looks nice.
Yeah, I mean, if they're willing to donate to kids, they must be willing to donate to adults, right?
You'd think.
I know, based
But-
on that, logic.
Yes, of giving and.
It's a good thing nobody watches the show up to this point, so I could say pretty much anything.
I mean, what if they just tuned in though?
Hi there.
You're screwed.
I'm Mark, and he's Michael. So if you have anything bad to say about, him.
Hey, now there's a movie that's having its, I guess it's its world premiere really, this Saturday night. It's called Combat Advisor in Vietnam. It's a documentary, and it's
Is that Jane Fonda?
it's unseen
It's
footage.
not Jane Fonda, huh?
No, this footage hasn't been seen really publicly. It's been put together in a 1-hour documentary form, and so it's having its premiere here at the Rio Grande Theater Saturday night tonight
Wow.
at 7:00.
How free is that?
And then-
$8?
I don't know, but the bank, the paper didn't say what they're charging, but if you want to go before the screening to Dragonfly next door, it's $13 for a dinner, for the movie dinner.
Really?
Yeah.
At Dragonfly?
And then after the dinner, you go next door, watch the movie. After the movie, you go back to Dragonfly for a post party.
Actually, that sounds pretty good. Also, Dragonfly, even their hamburgers and whatever accoutrements you get, that's worth $13. I'm not plugging anybody, but I would say that's not a bad deal.
Not too bad of a
And
deal.
they do have other things other than hamburgers.
Oh yeah,
I've never
quite
had
a few things.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's going on.
Chicken burgers.
And the Rio Grande Theater, of course, will have drinks, beer and wine.
Beer and wine.
And other soft drinks.
Usually a long line for that. But you can get beer and wine. I know most people watching the show really worry about where they can get their next drink from, but you can get your drink at Dragonfly.
Or
Rio
Toad
Grande
Creek.
or Little Toad Creek.
Yep. It's
You
all
can't
right
get
there.
drinks like this.
Now, there's a play in town called Inspecting Carol, which is kind of like the
It's
has
supposed
to-
to be a farce on the Christmas Carol.
on the Christmas Carol.
and
yeah,
it's supposed to be funny.
University usually does a version
of Christmas
of
Carol.
Christmas Carol in one form or another.
I think everybody knows how that works out. Tiny Tim dies getting run over by a tram.
What?
You didn't know that? Dickens stopped the book at that point.
I see.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's going on. That play is opening.
Oh, who's that? Roy Clark.
Roy Clark
Give me a
died.
break.
Yeah, Roy Clark. He was Entertainer of the Year.
He lived this long?
85 years old.
Wow.
He was on Hee-Haw for 24 years, over 200 episodes.
Is that Roy Orbison?
I'm
That
sorry,
looks like
2,000
Roy
episodes.
Orbison.
That's
2,000?
That's Roy Clark.
That's Roy Clark? Not the Roy Clark I know.
Yeah, no, he's a top entertainer for years and years.
Oh, are we down to our last minute?
a
Because
songwriter
these
also.
guys are certainly past their last minute, right? This last thing, Roy Clark and the next guy, the famous
Stan Lee died.
Stan Lee.
And we also know Stan Lee, Marvel Comics. Stan Lee was Mr. Marvel.
If it weren't for Stan Lee, we wouldn't have many of the movies we have. Tony Stark would be out of business.
Yeah, there'd be no Spider-Man, no
No
Hulk.
Spider-Man,
No
Captain
Avengers.
America, Iron Man.
Yes, and he made it all happen.
He did. And it was based on the lack of feeling secure during World War II.
He, like he said, he's just trying to make a living.
Right.
Writing
but
comic books and
he used
drawing.
his own insecurity. Oh, look. We're going into the famous black hole. Well, cheers. I really like this one.
All right,
Yes.
thank you. And we'll be here. We will be back next week, will we not?
Yes, we won't be filming our normal day, though. I would guess.
Who knows?
No,
That's
we'll
right.
see.
It's Thanksgiving. It's Thursday.
Next Thursday.
And Friday. School's out. So what are we going to do?
We're going to do a show. We'll do many drinks.